Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. Now, what you see right here is a article from the RT News entitled "A Surprise for the Enemy." Iran's new submarine launch cruise missile enters mass production. Okay, and you see how menacing, all right, this cruise missile is, man. You know, which now not America, all right, which is through the spirit that's the enemy, all right, Iran's greatest enemy, really. You know, now not America pulled out of the JCPOA, all right, because that's what they do. They break treaties. Hey, Iran has the lead. You know, they have the go ahead, you know, to basically arm themselves as best as possible. All right, and we know they're working with Russia, in which Russia has the S-400 the S-400 missile defense system, and it's far more superior than that of America. So this place is done. In short, America, aka Babylon, aka Sodom and Gomorrah, is finished. A surprise for the enemy. All right, and guess what? This surprise comes by way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now you have a lot of people who listen to us and scoff and say, "Oh, America's never gonna fall." Okay, well, I'm pretty sure they thought the same way about Rome. All right, hey, let's take it all the way back to Assyria, man. All right, Assyria ruled, I believe, you know, at least 500 years or more. All right, and they thought they would never go down. And look at them today, man. They're just a page in history. So that's just like America. Now it says, "Of surprise for the enemy, Iran's new submarine launch cruise missile enters mass production." It says Iran has launched mass production of its new submarine launch JASC cruise missile, the country's Navy chief has said, adding that work on upgraded versions of the weapon is already in progress. You know, so America already can't touch, you know, Russia. And as I said, Russia's work with Iran. I'm sure they have, you know, missile defense systems and missiles that goes hypersonic speeds that America can't even touch, man. All right, so it's going to be a devastating blow. All right, when it comes to World War III and it comes to missiles being shot off. All right, the scriptures speak about that, man. It says Iran has launched mass production of its new submarine launch JASC cruise missiles, the country's Navy chief has said, adding that work on upgraded versions of the weapon is already in progress. Rear Admiral Hussein Khanzadi was speaking in Tehran on Sunday at an event showcasing new weaponry and other military projects that his force has been involved with. Announcing the launch of the JASC cruise missiles mass production, Khanzadi said the munition will be used by all the subs of Iran's navies. While the official did not share any special characteristics of the missile, all right, why ruin the surprise? You know, America, they're gonna feel the characteristics of the missiles, man. All right, it's known that the JASC can be fired out of a submarine's torpedo tubes and takes off from the water. The task was first shown in action to the public this February during the massive Valiyat 97 naval drills. I was just watching it. I don't know if they're gonna show it. Well, that's another, good news, man. I don't know if brother just seen the title, but basically NATO is falling apart, man. It says old and weary, NATO's 70th birthday highlights division and alliance. You know, so it's all spiritual at this time, man. You know, because that's also prophesied in the book of Obadiah, as well as the book of Daniel, that America's allies should be partly weak and partly strong. In the book of Obadiah, it goes even further and said that America's allies, will come against America. You know, and the scripture said, "A nation divided against itself cannot stand." All right. So either way you look at it, America's through. All right. It says the range of JAS-type munitions is expected to be improved substantially in the future, Konzadi said, revealing that a JAS-2 project was already underway. The expanded range of the missile will surely be a serious surprise for the enemy, the official added, because people don't think that these other nations have the ICBMs, man, but they do. That's why it's going to come as a surprise. You know, and brothers always go into it, hey, that surprise punch is always the ones that knock you out. You know, it says Iran. This is probably another article. I just want to see if they had a video that we could watch. That's literally, man, when I look at this, it's literally like a you know how like a cheetah or a tiger goes on a hunt, to where it's like crouching, it's sneaking up on you, and then before you know it, it just goes full speed. All right, and when you find out that it's coming after you, that's your ass. That's it. And you might say, oh, well, America's, stronger than all these armies. But now you got to think about it. All these armies put together with the same firepower, America got, hey, they got a job on their hands, man. All right, so going back into the article we was at, it says, besides the JAS cruise missiles, the event in Tehran also showcased other military projects involving the Islamic Republic of Iran Navy. The new sea-launched Pelican VTOL drone, the Balaban guided bomb, the Sadaf 2 naval mine, as well as several other new systems were unveiled. As well as unveiling new weaponry, Konzadi spoke on the upcoming joint naval drills between Iran, Russia, and China. All right? Further proving that America's enemies, all right, as well as America's so-called allies, will come together and put a foot in America's ass, man. Because America and China were at one point allies, man. There was even an article I seen that China bailed out America in the one of the, I believe it's the 08 recession. It says the landmark exercise is expected to take place in the Indian Ocean next month. The objective of such an exercise is obtaining collective security and assisting in securing the northern region of the Indian Ocean which is today witness to certain incidents such as maritime piracy. And that's Esau all the way. That's got Esau written all over it, man. Maritime piracy basically meaning Esau taking over a particular portion of the ocean and saying that it's his, like it says in Habakkuk 2 and 5. All right, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, who enlargeth his desire as hell and cannot be satisfied. You know, and I always go into that precept: what pride goeth before destruction, and the haughty spirit before a fall. All right, now it says Moscow, for its part, also said that the joint drills will be focused on honing the counterterrorism and anti-piracy skills of the three countries' navies. You know, and going into the Chinese Navy and just the Chinese military, they had a 2-hour long showing of their military force, man. You know, I believe they have a 1 billion man army, China. You know, so you got China. You know, Russia got their military gear up. You know, now Iran. You know, so hey, it's gonna go down, man. When it goes down, you gonna know it. All right. It says Moscow, for its part, also said that the joint drills will be focused on honing the counterterrorism and anti-piracy skills of the three countries' navies, and therefore should not be perceived as a threat by any nations of the region. Well, we know that's a damn lie, because anything Esau can't control is a threat. All right, and this is something that's out of his hands. Now, this is a book of Second Esdras 8 and 20. It says, O Lord, thou that dwellest in everlastingness, which beholdest from above things in the heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended. And that's another scripture that proves, all right, that the Most High throne is in the upper atmosphere, the outer space, if you will. That's why Esau calls it outer space, because it's inestimable. You can't measure it. Whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling. All right, and the angels, the scriptures going to how you have one angel that can kill off 70,000 men in ease, man. One angel could destroy the world, and the angels stand with trembling. All right, in the presence of Yahweh, all right, and Yahweh Shai. All right, so how much more a simple man is Esau, man? The scriptures say in 2 Esdras the 13th chapter how the Lord is coming back. All right, because aside from the missiles that the Most High is going to shoot off, he's also going to fill up the skies with chariots. All right, the scriptures say that. Let me just grab that. I think it's 2 Esdras 13. Second Esdras 13 and 5. And after this I beheld, man, actually you can start at the top. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And this is Ezra's dreaming a dream of what's going to happen, all right, during the time of World War III. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay? So, I'm going to show you that the wind from the sea is actually metaphorical. When the Most High comes back, all right, he's going to stir things up. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Okay? When you go into when you watch that movie War of the Worlds, you know, they were so happy to see the chariot until he opened up his mouth. And then all hell broke loose, man. People were scared after that. All right. Why? It says, because I beheld and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, meaning the angels, as it says in I think it's Psalm 68 and 17. Okay. All right. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord, all right, is among them, as in Sinai, the holy place, which the Lord is Yahushua. So going back now into 2nd Ezra 13. And now beheld and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heavens. And when he turned his countenance and looked, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Again, metaphorically speaking, because, you know, that voice represents when the Most High opens up a portion of the chariots, laser beams is going to come out, and it's going to burn people into a crisp, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. All right, concentrated fire, man. After this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heavens, as we see into this day. All right, men out of number, basically men, all these countries with their armies is going to be gathered into the valley of Jehoshaphat, as it also speaks about in Joel 2 and 3. All right, to basically fight against one another, man. Them with their armies. Also says that in Isaiah 34. And the Most High is going to basically, he's going to muster the host of the battle. All right, he's going to come out of nowhere and break them down easily too. It says to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right, so what he's saying is that they're going to stop fighting each other. All right, and they're going to they're going to attempt, you know, which is going to be a stupid attempt, but nevertheless they're going to attempt to fight the chariots. All right, and hey, you saw the movies, and was that Independence Day with Will Smith, how they actually took down the so-called angels, which that's a damn lie. All right, because the angels look like men. All right, but that's another lesson for another time. But they try to take down the so-called angels, and they was actually able to break down the force field of the so-called mothership. All right, which we know Yahushua is coming in the fathership. All right, and they was able to subdue them. But that's not going to be the case. All right, that's just the pride of men, and that's really just as the scriptures say, dreams lift up fools. All right, that's just a dream of Esau, but that's all it's going to ever be. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the regional place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst flight. You know, and these were men. All right, you're gonna have the Russians over there that's gonna be afraid. All right, which they, you know, they really the mightiest out of all these nations, man. All right, they fucking you know, be outside in, you know, 20-degree weather, wrestling with no shirts on and shit. All right, you just look at their training, man. They're gonna be afraid. So how much more these Edomites over here in America? All right, because those are Edomites too over there in Russia, but how much more these Edomites over here in America? All right, so this is back at 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 21. Before whom whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the hosts of angels stand with trembling. All right, so the angels tremble. How much more is Esau going to tremble in that day? Whose service is conversant in wind and fire. All right, do not those ICBM nuclear missiles, when they touch down, they bring fire, they bring devastation. All right, just look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, which that was an instrument otherwise known as an atomic bomb, but these ICBM are nuclear atomic bombs, man. So they're you know, thousands of times stronger than the atomic bomb. All right, which over there, they're feeling the effects of that atomic bomb to this very day. All right, it says, whose word is true, whose service is conversant in wind and fire. All right, Isaiah 29:6 tells us how the Lord talks. All right, when he, that's one of the ways he talks. All right, it's through hailstorms, tempests, wildfires. Whose word is true and sayings constant. Whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful. All right, and this is one of the Lord's ordinances, man. Okay, a surprise for the enemy. And these nuclear missiles, they're gonna have the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai on them, man. That's why, as the scriptures say in Joel, the 2nd chapter, they shall not break their ranks. But they're going to they're going to basically be sent where the Most High desired them to be sent for, man. An ordinance fearful. Now, what is an ordinance? An ordinance is nothing more than a decree. All right, and what is the decree that the Lord had out for Babylon? Let's get Jeremiah 50:22. It said, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Okay, how is the hammer? Let me see. All right, that word great is large in number and intensity. All right, great, distinguished, God himself, greatness. All right, so again, the Most High is going to be in them missiles, man. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right, and when you say, well, how you know that's not talking about ancient Babylon? Well, let's keep reading. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou wert found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. Yahweh hath opened up his armory and brought forth the weapons of his indignation. Now, when you look at it through the spirit, this is how we know that this is not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon, as even Isaiah puts it, that all the wars back then, I believe that's Isaiah 9:6, were fought with swords and shields. All right, but a weapon that would signify the Lord's indignation would have to be something way greater than a sword. All right, a weapon that symbolizes wind and fire would have to be something way greater than a sword. Going to show you, this is talking about this is talking about Babylon the Great, the daughter of harlots, man, the mother of Babylon. I meant the daughter of Babylon, Salakia. So this must be talking about this has to be talking about another Babylon. The Lord have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. What is the Lord's armory? All right, which of course we just read, one of his armories is going to be those chariots, but another one of the weapons of his indignation is those ICBM nuclear missiles. All right, what the Lord said in Isaiah 54:16, I have created the smith to destroy. All right, what is a smith? All right, let's actually just grab that. Isaiah get it right here. Kill two birds in one stone, actually, because you can get the definition here too. All right, it says, behold, I have created the smith. The word smith is a craftsman. All right, a swordsmith. You have a locksmith, all right? One who's dedicated to that particular craft, all right? A swordsmith is one who's dedicated to specifically making swords, all right? An artisan, an engraver, a graver, artificer, artificer, skillful to destroy, all right? So a smith in this context would be someone who's skillful to destroy, all right? And what's more devastating than a nuclear atomic missile? You know? So it says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. Going back into what? Jeremiah 50. And 25 now. The Lord hath opened up his armory, and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. All right, so you have a person that says, well, how you know ICBM missiles are in the scriptures? Well, first off, Salaki, you have to be spiritual to see it. All right? You have to be spiritual to see it. And that's first and foremost, man. You know, and through the spirit we see that the missiles, all right, which these weapons will have to indicate how pissed off the Lord is. The scriptures say the Lord is angry with the wicked every day. All right, so he has to have missiles that will indicate just that. Like I believe the book Isaiah 42 speaks about how when the Lord comes back, just to show you how pissed the Lord is, going to his indignation or righteous anger. Isaiah 42 verse 13, Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have a long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now I will cry. Let's look up that word cry. To groan, to cry out, to scream. You know? So the Most High is going to be, hey, God damn. You know? He's going to, hey, man, he's going to be screaming while he's kicking ass, man. You know? All you're going to hear is just fucking, it's not going to be no talking in that day, basically. All right? Yahweh Shai is going to be zapping motherfuckers left and right, man. You know? It says, now, well, like, cry like a travailing woman. All right? And there's no calming down a travailing woman, man. Because she's going through them pains. And she just got to let it out, man. I will destroy and devour at once. You know? And everybody's quiet when that woman is in pain, man. What the fuck you want to tell her? All right? She's in excruciating pain, man. You know? Here it is. Yahweh Shai, he going to come back. All right? Which it said Lord and all cats. But we know Yahweh. That's why we say Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. All right? Because Yahweh is going to send his son Yahweh Shai down to do... Yahweh Shai is basically like the Lord's arm, man. So he's going to send him down to do his leg work. All right, and here it is. You just crucified him 2 days ago. All right, you don't think he's fucking pissed off at that, man? Here it is. He goes away, and you got 2/3 still eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, still committing adultery. All right, still committing the things that he has died for, man. You know, that he put his life on the line for. All right, you know, you're the ones that pierced him, man. You know, so hey, man, the Lord is very pissed off. And he's going to show how pissed off he is, man. And it's going to be through all action. It's not going to be no talking. It's going to be straight, you know, judgment. All right, so let's go back to 2nd Esdras now. Chapter 8. Verse 23. All right. Now we found out what is the ordinance of the Lord, man. All right. Or the decree of the Lord is for Babylon to be destroyed. All right. It says, verse 23 now. Whose look drieth up the depths, and indignation maketh the mountains to melt away, which the truth witnesseth. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the truth is witnessing that. This is why you have the prophets, which are spiritual heralds, man, or spiritual news anchors, all right, telling you that all of these things that you see on the upcoming World War III is written in the scriptures. All right. So, hey, man, a surprise from the enemy, otherwise known as a surprise from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, you I can edify. Shalom to the elect.